Hi, and welcome to the Global Travel Scholars information session. Thanks to our virtual audience for watching this video, and we're excited that you are interested in applying for our 2024 Global Scholars program. We're going to go through information tonight all about the program and the application process, as well as what you could expect if you were selected to travel abroad. So to get started, my name is Kathleen Knoll, and I'm the Director of Youth Programs here at the World Affairs Council. And I'm joined by Angie, who works for the Experiment in International Living and is our partner in providing this program. I'll talk more about our partnership here in a bit. And I'm also joined by Lauren, who is also part of the council team and helps to support the Global Travel Scholars Program. So to get started, the World Affairs Council of Pittsburgh, if you're not familiar with our program, our work is to convene and connect people around global issues to build a thriving, competitive, and inclusive Pittsburgh. Ultimately, our vision is to create a globally minded and globally connected world that is equitable and just for all. And we do this through offering a variety of public programs that are for the broader community, as well as youth programs such as the Global Travel Scholars Program. You can find out about all of our programs on our website at worldpittsburgh.org. So going back to the partnership between the council and the experiment, we've been partners for nearly 2 decades now. And we work together to provide this Global Travel Scholars Program. And the way that it works is the council runs the year-long GTS program. We help to provide support to students and families to apply for the program. If they are selected, we also help them with completing their paperwork, applying for a passport, and more. We also run wraparound programs. So the Global Travel Scholars Program is a full year program, and it consists of 3 pre-departure orientations before traveling. And then upon returning, we also work with students, to help tell their story through a welcome home celebration, to complete a group project, and to be an ambassador of the program. Our partners at the experiment cover all of the travel parts of the program. So they have an application that is specific to the travel programs that they offer. They handle all the logistics for the programs, and they do a program-specific pre-departure orientation with Global Travel Scholars before they head abroad to orient them to the specifics of the program and country where they'll be traveling. They also are the on-the-ground program provider during travel, and that includes working with and training to adult group leaders who travel with all of the student groups, and they provide on-call support during the program. So the Global Travel Scholars Program is a needs-based scholarship for high school students who have never traveled abroad before and who would not be able to do so without the support of a full scholarship. So the scholarship itself covers all of the experiment program fees. That includes program activities, programs where college credit is applicable, that is included. It includes in-country transportation, meals and accommodation, orientation and language fees, and health and accident insurance. We also cover international and domestic flights and baggage fees. If a student needs to stay in a hotel during their travel, that's covered. And we also pay for the selected student's passport and, if needed, visa fees. So who is eligible to apply? This program is for high school students who are currently in grades 10 and 11, must be 16 or older by February 1st of 2024. If your birthday is right around that deadline, feel free to reach out if you have any questions about your eligibility, and we'll share our contact information at the end of the presentation. Current high school seniors are not eligible to apply. Students must live in the Pittsburgh area, and that's really the broader Southwestern Pennsylvania area, or be an active member of our Global Minds chapters. As well, students may not have traveled outside of the United States previously. That excludes travel to Canada, where we also have many Global Minds chapters. And the only notable exception there is in the case of immigrant or refugee students who moved to the US after having lived abroad previously, those students are still eligible to apply. Students must demonstrate financial need. And so if a student would be able to travel abroad on because their family paid for it, or even with a partial scholarship, they would not be able to apply. So it's only students who would need a full scholarship in order to be able to afford such an opportunity. And students also must be fully vaccinated for COVID-19 before traveling abroad. The scholarship itself does not cover just a few things, and that is immunizations or medical copays that might be needed, and that can vary based upon the country of travel. Some countries might require different vaccinations or medications for travel. That is not covered. There is also a requirement to get a physical before traveling abroad, and those medical copays would not be covered. We also do not cover any incidental expenses or spending money that might be needed by the student to do laundry or buy gifts or souvenirs or snacks on their trips. And then we don't cover travel from home to the Pittsburgh airport or from the Pittsburgh airport back to the student's home when they return from travel. That has to be provided by the family or a caregiver. If a student is selected for the Global Travel Scholars Program, we will talk about how they might be able to fundraise to help cover some of these expenses. And we estimate those to be about $200 to $600, depending on the country where the student's traveling. There are 14 programs that are offered in 10 different countries. You can find all these listed on the Experiments website. You'll see them listed here as well. Each program in each sort of country that is available for travel has a theme to the program. And we really encourage students to look into each of those themes and to think about which countries they are most interested in applying for, what aligns with their current interests and hobbies, as well as their future goals. Some of the programs are eligible for college credit for rising juniors and seniors, and the council is able to nominate one student to participate in the Leadership Institute. We will make that selection through a parallel application process, which I'll detail in just a bit. Other applicants who are still interested in the Leadership Institute, even if they are not selected as the council's nominee, may be considered by the experiment. So each program has a 4-part program structure, which includes an orientation, a homestay, a thematic focus, and a reflection. Travel takes place during the month of July, and all travel is done with a group structure, which means that students are selected to be part of the Global Travel Scholars Program, but based upon the country that they are traveling to, they will meet up in the US at a gateway city with the other students who are traveling to that country in their group. Most of the time, we don't send 2 students in the Global Travel Scholars Program to the same country. We usually send them to different countries, which means that this group of students that they travel with will all be new friends that they'll be meeting for the first time to go on this experience with. And when they meet up with that small group of students, which I think is about 15 typically, they also meet up with 2 adult group leaders who travel with them for the duration of their trip. Angie's going to talk a lot more about this program structure and the different program components in just a bit. I'll also just mention that typically we don't select more than 2 students from the same high school, though we encourage as many students in the region to apply as are interested. Students who are selected for the Global Travel Scholars Program must commit to participating in the full year-long program, and they must commit to participating and traveling during the dates of the travel component of the program. So when you go on the Experiments website, you can see the dates for each program in which a student would have to travel. There are no exceptions that a student couldn't join the trip late or leave early. Those dates are fixed, and a student must commit to those in advance. Okay, so the application and interview process, there is a 2-step application process, and I'm going to go through both of these in detail. The first step is to complete the Global Travel Scholars application form. That is a form that is through the council, and that form is due by Friday, January 5th. The second step is to complete the application for admission through the experiment portal by Monday, January 15th. If a student is selected for an interview, they will be notified after that time, and they will be invited to participate in an interview which will be held on Saturday, January 27th. Those interviews take place virtually. Our scholars will be selected by early February. We also select a small number of students as alternates. If a student is selected as an alternate, this means that if one of the selected global travel scholars becomes unable to travel or to complete the program requirements, that an alternate would be moved into their place as long as there is time before travel for which to do so. And so in order for them to be able to do that, the council does pay for those alternates to apply for a passport. Passports are good for 10 years, so there is value in themselves just to have the passport. So even if the student isn't ultimately able to travel abroad through this opportunity, they may be eligible to apply again next year, so long as they would not be in their senior year. And also they would be able to keep that passport for the next 10 years. So the Global Travel Scholars application, again, due by January 5th. You can find all the information you need at worldpittsburgh.org/global-travel. On this application, we'll be assessing your eligibility for the program itself, and this includes household financial information. So on this particular form, and you will see it noted at the top of the form, there are 3 questions, questions 16, 17, and 18, which have to be completed in consultation with a parent or guardian. These are questions that help us to assess that financial need component. Also, we want to recognize that when asking this sort of personal financial information, that this information is kept private, and it is only shared with the team at the council and the experiment who are part of the selection committee, and it will not be shared outside of that. Answers to all of the other questions on the form, with the exceptions of questions 16 through 18, should be completed solely by the student applicant. On this form, we also have questions that help us to understand your commitment to the broader Global Travel Scholars Program outside of just the travel component. So we want to know what you're excited about and how you see value in this full long program. And then within this form, we will also ask if you are interested in the Leadership Institute. If this is a program that you are interested in, there will be a second section of the form that you are directed to, and you will be asked to complete some short answer questions, as well as to tell us when you might be available for an interview for this program. Those interviews will take place before the general Global Travel Scholars interviews on the 27th. However, if you are not selected as the Council's Leadership Institute nominee, you may also then be invited to take place in the general interviews on the 27th. For the application for admission, which is due on Monday, January 15th, that application you will want to complete through the experiment website, www.experiment.org/apply. I encourage you to get started on both of these applications as soon as possible, as there are different parts to the applications, and you might want to even just start working on them in a Word document and then copying and pasting your answers in. Just to give you a sense or an overview of what's in this application, it's going to ask you for some personal information. It will ask you about your primary parent or guardian. This will be the adult, the parent or guardian, who is the primary point of contact for the student, and they will be included on all of the important information that the student receives, as well as all of the forms. You will also be asked to select the programs in which and rank the programs in which you are most interested in. So what countries and what thematic focuses are you most interested in? There are a few short answer essay questions. You'll also be asked to provide at least one, and in some cases in programs with college credit, 2 letters of reference. These cannot be family members, and I want to encourage you to be sure to sign in and list your reference contact information as soon as possible to give your reference as much time as possible to complete that reference on your behalf, because it does need to be submitted by the 15th. There's also a financial aid form, as well as you'll be asked to write a homestay letter. The homestay letter is a letter that is written to the family that you'll ultimately stay with for part of your trip while you are abroad. The letter should be written in English unless you are in a program with a foreign language requirement, and then you should submit the letter in English and in the language of your host. So to find out more when you want to select your program or think about what programs to go to, again, you can go on the experiment's website and see all of the programs listed there. There are program descriptions, travel dates, information on those language prerequisites, sample travel itineraries to get a sense of what you would do on that trip. And then ultimately there will be group leader intros added. When you pick the programs that you are most interested in, you should think about what program is connected most to your interests and talents. Do some independent research on the countries that you're interested in. And also know that the choices that you list are your preferences, and we definitely take those into consideration, but they are not the final selection. So you are not guaranteed to be made an offer to travel abroad to your first choice program if you are selected as a global travel scholar. So please be flexible and be thoughtful in your essays to make a compelling case for why you are interested in those programs. Because we like to send students to different countries instead of all in the same to the same country, we are really thoughtful in matching students to the program that we feel like is the best match for them. And we do that in consultation with Angie and the experiment team, who know these programs so well. And so when we make our global travel scholar selection process, when we make the announcement for our global travel scholars who are selected, we offer to them the opportunity to travel to a specific country based upon that determination. When you're writing your essays, again, be compelling. This is really your opportunity to shine. It's really our opportunity to get to know you and to determine if you'll be invited to the interview process. So be really thoughtful. Take the time to answer the questions completely. Be descriptive. Tell your story. Make sure that you're proofreading and getting input from others, and don't leave information out. Really take this opportunity to be thoughtful about this. Be thoughtful to make your case for this experience. There might be additional questions on the form for programs with college credits, so be thoughtful of those as well, and how much time you might need to complete this application. If you are selected as a global travel scholar, we have certain expectations of every global travel scholar. We view this as a leadership development opportunity. And so we really look to our students to be student leaders. And that includes being mature and reliable. We want students who can demonstrate their readiness to travel and live abroad independently. A huge part of this is also about timely communication. Knowing that our team is here to support you and to help you navigate any challenges that may come up, but that really means that you have to communicate with us about those challenges in a timely manner, and also be responsive to requests that we might be sending to you, which might be to complete forms or to help us determine dates, which folks have the most availability for our meetings or other things. So our primary mode of communication for the upcoming year will be the use of the app Remind, which can send you text as well as emails. We ask that everyone plan and be able to respond within 48 hours to acknowledge any messages that come through about the program. For our global travel scholars as well, we ask that both during and after travel that students are ambassadors of the World Affairs Council of Pittsburgh. That means that they are thoughtful of representing the council, that they are thoughtful representing the Pittsburgh area when they are on their travels and as well as when they come back, and that they are thoughtful of sort of paying forward this opportunity to other students who might be interested in traveling abroad. So that might mean helping us to mentor future cohorts or participating in trainings or even meeting with funders. If a student is selected as a global travel scholar before they depart, there are a lot of forms that have to be completed. Again, our team is going to be here to support you and walk you through all of those step by step. But within 2 days of selection as a global travel scholar, there are 2 forms that are due to the council. In early February, we would be asking all students to apply for their passport. We have a whole guidance document that we would share with you about how to complete that application process. We would also be mailing you a check to be able to cover the cost associated with that. Within 2 weeks of acceptance by the experiment, you would also have to fill out forms through the experiment portal. In March, your health form would be due. In May, your COVID vaccination cards would be due. And in June, you would be expected to attend, starting from March through June, you would be expected to attend your pre-departure orientations, as well as a pre-departure orientation that is program specific through the experiment that takes place in May or early June. So these are all of the pre-travel commitments that students must agree to in order to be a global travel scholar. After travel, again, there are some mandatory components of the program. One is to participate in a group project. The second is to be thoughtful about telling your story and sharing about the transformative experience that you have. And one way that we provide for students to do that is to participate in a storytelling event that we call the Welcome Home Celebration. This takes place every fall. And we have some workshops that we do with students around storytelling, as well as a rehearsal prior to that event. Again, we ask that students serve as an ambassador of the council. And then we also ask that students provide testimonials or reviews or write essays, both for the Global Travel Scholars Program as well as for the experiment. And all of these things are really ways to develop those leadership and communication skills after travel. And they're also an act of reciprocity that help the council and help the experiment continue these programs into future years. So we really look to our student leaders to be able to help us after they return to continue to share what they've learned. All right, so this is the contact information that I have for the council team, Lauren and myself, as well as Angie and her colleague, Heather. But I'm gonna now turn it over to Angie to share much more about the travel logistics and application that takes place through the experiment. So Angie.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. So I'm going to share my screen. Give me one moment here. Share screen. Awesome. So some of the information provided may be a bit repetitive, but I'll go into some more details about a few things. So as Kathleen mentioned, my name is Angie Freya. I'm the partnership coordinator for the experiment. I will be one of the individuals that, for the most part, you'll be interacting with, sharing communications with from now until the end of the program. As it was also mentioned, our team is on call 24/7 during the duration of program. And I mean that in the most literal sense. At any time, if you or your parent or guardian need anything, please definitely feel free to reach out to our on-call team. This information will be provided to you during the program-specific pre-departure orientations that were mentioned as well. So the World Learning Inc. family, it's a trio. So with the experiment being the flagship program, and then we also have the SIT, which is our School for International Training that provides graduate programs as well as study abroad opportunities for college students as well. So joining the experiment allows you to be part of this entire family, this organization, and if you wish to continue traveling abroad after high school while you're in college, you can do that through World Learning as well. So the experiment, our focus is on fueling your future We definitely believe in an experience that is impactful, resourceful, and can definitely help to guide whatever it is your future plans are, whether that is college or a job or if you have a certain career. So as Kathleen mentioned, it's very imperative that when selecting your programs, you really choose the themes that you are most interested in, aligns with whatever it is that you are hoping to gain from the experience, because they will definitely serve a purpose. So we have 13 programs in 10 countries. We have a few programs in Europe, so France, Germany, Italy, and Spain. The Americas, which is Costa Rica, Ecuador. The Middle East, we have a program in Jordan, and then our Asian programs, which is Japan and South Korea. So for our programs in Spain, there are three different programs. So we have Spain, Spanish language through the arts, Spain, Spanish language and culture, and then Spain, cultural discovery. So as you are, reading through and sifting through the programs you are interested in, you definitely want to make note of these and very much, look through the itinerary, read the descriptions, and ensure that you are selecting the right Spain program, for example. For our South Korea program, there is two as well. So we have K culture and peace building, and then Korean language and the arts. Um, and then we also have our Ghana program in Africa, as I mentioned, which I am very biased towards as I am from Ghana. So that program focuses on contemporary art and culture. And then our Jordan program focuses on the Arabic language and Jordan, the culture. And then Costa Rica and Ecuador are our programs about the environment, biodiversity, etc. So you can read definitely more about these on our website, as was mentioned. And then our Costa Rica program, again, is about climate change. And as Kathleen mentioned, there's a bit of a different process for that, which we'll get more into. So the learning journey is a collective, immersive, and experiential and supportive one. So collective, you all will be traveling together from the United States with your group leaders, just in a group experience. So you all will be participating in different thematic activities together. Even your homestay experience, although you may be in a different homestay from another experimenter, it's still a group activity, group process. Your group leaders are also participating in the homestay experience as well. So it's a real collective journey. Immersive in the sense that you will be participating in language classes, you'll be doing community service activities. There may also be, depending on your program, you might find yourself at a Japanese school. You may find yourself in, a store, a town, what have you, just really embedded in that community and in that culture. And then your homestay experience is really where we also are hoping that you get most of your immersive learning experience from. We want you to be, open-minded and willing to try the language of the host country in which you're in. So especially if your program has a prerequisite, a language component, which most of our Spain programs do, as well as Ecuador, and then our Japanese programs. So I will mention for our Japanese language and culture program, there will be a language assessment that you all will be taking once you arrive in country. That is to gauge your Japanese language ability, so you are placed in the appropriate language classes. Same for our Jordan program, which focuses on the Arabic language as well. Experiential, you learn by doing. So, for example, our Italy program focuses on culinary training and culture. So, from the moment you arrive in country, you will be given chef coats and you are well on your way. You all will be in an actual restaurant with a real chef and you'll be cooking for real people. So, this experience is, experiential. We want you to get the learning experience by actually doing. And then supportive, your group leaders are your first line of communication, of contact in case of anything while on program. So you definitely want to utilize those resources. As I mentioned, we are on call 24/7 during this experience as well. And this starts from now all the way until the end of program and even after. At the end of program, I do help, speak to you all, learn more about your program and things of that nature. Excuse me. So, about your group leaders, they are trained, experienced teachers and professionals. So, some of your group leaders may be principals, social workers, individuals who are committed to working with young people and are well versed in doing so. They are responsible for student health, safety, and well being, which is something that you all will also talk about during your orientation periods as well. and they are versed in collective learning and experiential education. They also provide program logistics and travel support. So from the first day of program, which is your meetup at the airport, or possibly depending on your program, a meetup in a hotel to get you all well rested before you travel. Program begins right away, and your group leaders are providing you with these travel support and logistics. So as I mentioned, the first couple of days of program is your orientation period, where you will meet your leader at the U.S. departure airport. You'll spend a few days in the capital or another major city. So, for example, if you're traveling to France, your group will likely be in Paris. And there you will increase your confidence and cultural knowledge. We provide you with some basic information tools to, ensure and help you all get acclimated into this new environment. For a lot of us, it may be our first time traveling outside of our state. So we want you all to get the information that you need to feel comfortable as well. You will gain some basic language skills and learn and practice local norms such as greetings, personal space, meals, etc. And then you will also be reviewing your health, safety, and security considerations. This is important to us as it is our main priority. So definitely, during this time period, you want to be attentive and listen to these considerations. For example, one of the things you all will be discussing is traveling in groups of 3 when you are allocated time to explore the cities that you are in. Your home stays will be between 1 to 3 weeks. You can view the sample itineraries on our website to get an idea of how long some of your home stays will be, where you will participate in the daily life of a local community. This means that, if you are in the house with mom, dad, siblings, this is your family, you all will be participating in the activities that they have planned for you. For example, if every weekend you go to your abuela's house, you will be going to your abuela's house on the weekend. We want you all to be fully engaged, fully immersed in the experience. Your entire group also participates in a homestay, so this includes your group leaders, and you will all be in the same region or town. Oftentimes, your host families are relatives or friends, so you will likely be still seeing your group members throughout the duration of the program as well. Throughout the duration of this part of the program, your group will have get-togethers, meetings, and cultural activities. And our homestay families go through an extensive recruitment and vetting process. We have an in-country partner, an in-country homestay coordinator as well that vets these individuals for us. And most of them have been hosting for quite a while. And then World Learning vets your homestay families also. So your program focus, as I mentioned, is to fill your future. So this can be exploring a future major or career, learning and gaining valuable skills. For example, if you're in a language program, we really try to hone in on those language skills for you all. We want you at the end of the program to come back and meet your friends, your family, and they're like, what is happening? What happened over those 3, 4 weeks? You speak a whole new language. And for our language programs, at the end, you will also receive a language certificate. And same for our community service programs, you receive a community service certificate as well. If you do apply for one of our college credit programs, which is Ghana or Jordan, at the end, you will receive 3 college credit programs through our School of International Training. And you will get the opportunity to engage with local experts to deepen your understanding of critical global issues. So this is just quick overview of some of the themes. I won't go through them all, as you can definitely visit our website and view them, but some of the themes focus on peace, politics, and human rights, language, culture, discovery, and the arts, and sustainability and the environment. So the Leadership Institute Climate Change in Costa Rica program, the application, as Kathleen mentioned, is January 15th, and there is the process before for you all to complete. This is a competitive program, so as was mentioned, there will be a nominee for the Global Travel Scholars Program. There are some virtual pre and post program components. So this is very essential as you have to meet all of these requirements if you are chosen for the program. At the end of the program, students have to implement a post-program climate change action project in their home communities. I want to stress this point because it is a requirement. We will be following up to ensure that this has taken place. So we are really looking for individuals who are truly interested in climate change, biodiversity, the environment, and are able to meet the pre and post requirements. And our alumni are not eligible for this program. So I want to talk a little bit about health and safety. As I mentioned, your health, safety, and well-being is our number one priority. The experiment focuses on this because we can, as I mentioned, most students have not traveled possibly, or being away from your family is hectic. So sometimes you're all ready to go, then you get in country and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't feel well. Something's wrong. So we take a 360-degree approach, which focuses on mental and physical well-being of our participants. Your physical and mental health is very important to us. We provide insurance coverage for all accidents, illnesses, emergency evacuations if need be while on program, 24-hour, 7 days a week on-call support during programs as well. And I want to stress, I mean this in the literal sense. Please utilize this service if you need to. And then international SOS as well. So international SOS provides us with information about local clinics, hospitals, in the event that a participant is unwell and needs to visit one. We have in-country local support as well from our in-country coordinators, homestay coordinators, etc., and then the experiment group leaders. Some of our programs also have in-country co-leaders, so you may be traveling with another adult that was in the host country in which you're in. So the next steps, as was mentioned, is you all have to complete your application through the Global Travel Scholars and then also the experiment application as well. So we ask for student and parent guardian information. There are short written responses. For example, one of the questions is, why are you interested? We definitely are looking for in-depth answers, beyond I've always wanted to travel to France. What is it about the country that you are interested in, the theme, etc. We really want to get to know you. Your answers will definitely help us in ensuring that we are placing you in the appropriate programs and that you will be getting all that we hope for you to gain from this program. Your homestay letter and a photo. So your homestay letters has to be accompanied by a personal photo. This can be a photo of just yourself, you with your family, you with your friends. However, if it is a group photo, please definitely indicate for us which one you are, who you are in the photo. And at least one letter of reference. Two, if you are applying for a college credit program. And in addition, if you are applying for one of our college credit programs, we do have to for high school transcript and then a copy of your passport as well. You can always reach myself or another admissions counselor at info@experiment.org. And if you call our 800 number that is on the screen, I will pick up and we will get to talk. This part of the presentation is very important. If you don't remember anything that I said tonight, please remember this piece right here as it is very essential. When you are applying for the experiment program, there will be a page such as this one, and it asks you for your program selection. The first question is, were you nominated to apply by your sponsoring organization, mentoring organization, or sending school? You want to indicate yes, and then you want to click the second question, the drop down, and click World Affairs Council of Pittsburgh. This is essential as if you do not make this selection at the end of applying, you will be asked to pay a $50 application fee, and we do not want you to have to do that. The application is free for our scholars. So please ensure that you check yes. If you go through it and you're like, oh my goodness, don't know what happened, no worries. You will not be able to move on to the application without the payment. So that you can kind of go back and see where you may have missed the mark. So yes, and then World Affairs Council of Pittsburgh. If by chance you are able to hit submit, definitely just email us at info@experiment.org and we will make this correction for you. For our parents and even our future participants as well, I know travel, as I mentioned, can be like, oh my goodness, very intriguing, very like, I want to do this, but it's also a bit like scary, right? So we have the opportunity for you all to connect with a parent ambassador or a participant ambassador as well. So if you go on our experiment website and you click apply, there is a drop down that says connect with a experimenter. So you can choose parent or participant, choose the country in which you are interested in traveling to, and then you will be presented with individuals who have traveled to this country or with parents of students who have traveled, and you can reach out to them by filling out a very short form, and they will email you back, and you all can coordinate how you would like to continue on with obtaining the information in which you are looking for. This is a very helpful tool. It is updated with our 2022 and 23 experimenters. So there are tons of people just ready and willing and waiting to answer all of your questions that you may have. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Angie. So I just want to remind everyone to please feel free to check out our website at worldpittsburgh.org/global-travel. All of this information, as well as our contact information, can be found there. And we encourage you to please reach out if you have any questions about any of the information presented here or anything outside of this, and one of us will be happy to get back to you. But we look forward to seeing your applications come in. And the last thing I just want to emphasize is to start the process sooner rather than later. You can always work in a Word document, copy the questions over and start that way, or go ahead and get started on the first applications and sending out your reference request to your teacher or guidance counselor references as soon as possible. Those will be great first steps, and we hope you'll work on this over the holiday break and that we will be in touch with you soon. So thank you so much for joining and take good care.